Hi everybody, let's grab our activities with our file folders. So today we're going to try the fish activity. We can use both hands to try to open up the bag, peel it apart, hold the bag and reach inside. Use two hands together. Alright, so with our parents' help we can spread our pieces out on one side of the table. We can hide them around the room. We can put them in a sensory bin so that we have to dig and find them before we put them on our paper. But for today, we're just going to set up like this. So we can say, find the yellow fish. And our student finds yellow. So I'm reaching with my right hand across my body. This is the middle of my body here, an invisible line that divides us into two. I'm reaching across that line to pick up the piece. What I could do instead is pick it up with my left hand, switch it over, and then put it down, but we really want to work on this skill of crossing the midline. If I pick it up with my left hand, that's okay because I cross midline to get to the board on the other side. We just have to make sure that they're far apart, that they're not right all in front of us, because then we're not crossing midline. So find the yellow fish. If your student doesn't know where to put it, give them a chance to look for a little bit. What you can do is also limit options. So if you know it's at the top, you could put a blank piece of paper to cover some of the choices. You can point, find yellow, give a verbal cue, and eventually if they need help, you could guide their hand to yellow to put the fish on. So you can keep going here. So we want to reach across our body or with the other hand to bring it across. We're going to match all our fish. All right. So once we find all of the matches, what we're going to do is make sure we don't hold the board for our student. We want them to explore the idea that they have to use both hands to do this. Otherwise, the Velcro won't rip. So we're going to hold with one hand and pull off with the other. You might need to set up your student's hand by helping them bring it here to hold on and pull off. And you can have them set it to the side and pull off all the fish. Once you get them all off, it's another great skill to learn cleanup. Set them up to hold the bag with one hand and put the pieces in with the other. This is us using both hands together. It's really important that instead of mom or dad holding the bag and your student just putting in the pieces, that we encourage them to hold the bag and to help with the whole task. We need to pick up some more, so we're going to hold with one hand, pull off with the other. Let's get off the rest of these pieces. This is a good skill for our hand strengthening. See, we're using 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, to pick up the pieces, and our other 2 are either tucked or off to the side, so that we're really refining the sides of our hands and that these are our fingers that we use to be precise. Let's put the rest of these in the bag. We're going to hold with one hand, put in with the other. Nice job. Mom and Dad might need to help us seal up the top of the bag. Another thing to work on crossing midline using both hands together is you can use a cup. You can make a little Mr. Mouth, or you could use pieces of Play-Doh that you're putting back into the container, but have your student hold the container and put in. Hold this and put in with one hand. So again, this works on us working this small object to the tips of our fingers so that it goes into the opening instead of trying to smear and wipe it in because it's in the palm of our hand. We want to work it towards the tips of our fingers here so that we can put it into the opening, and we're using both hands together again to do one task. Something else you can do with your activities is if you get out some of your coloring sheets or you get out a different coloring book you have at home, to make the lines, we can draw the line. Absolutely, we can take our markers, try and use 3 fingers on the pencil, tuck your other 2 in, hold the paper with one hand, and draw our line. So we're tracing the first one, we're doing the next ones on our own. But if we want to change it up, we can take small toys or objects like blocks, Cheerios, beads, beans, erasers, and we can also practice forming the lines by lining up our toys and objects and following the line with manipulatives, with toys and tools and small objects. You can also use Play-Doh. Play-Doh is great for hand strengthening. What you can do is you can roll it up into a little ball, which is really great to work on all of your finger movements and your fine motor skills and hand strengthening. Again, see, we're using two hands together the whole time. You can make little circles to form the line and line those up the whole way across. Or you can rip off a bigger piece and roll out a long piece like a snake. So we're using both hands to push down. Our fingers are close together and then they open up, open, close to roll out a snake. And then this forms our line. If we want to add another challenge, we can push our pieces into the line. These are all different ways to practice what we're doing. All different ways to use these sheets to form our lines. You can do this with coloring sheets as well. You can color, connect the dots. Always make sure to try to hold the paper with one hand and use your other hand to draw. Last thing you can do is if you do have Cheerios or small tools, toys, manipulatives, blocks, erasers, things like this, is you can use tongs to pick them up and put them on the line. So I'm moving the Play-Doh around, the erasers around, lining everything up. Again, see these 1, 2, same 3 fingers as before. Same 3 fingers we use to hold our pencil. Same 3 fingers we use to peel the fish back up off the board. You can do this with Cheerios, beads, beans, erasers. If you don't have tongs, you can use tweezers, or you can use larger kitchen tongs and bigger objects if you'd like, or you can put chopsticks together with a hair tie to make your own tweezers. And you can use these to strengthen those 3 fingers. All right, have fun trying your new activities today.